Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to yet another episode of The Last Science Show. I hope you're doing amazing, awesome, and awe-inspiring as we dive into another special episode on a Black scientist for this Black History Month series. As you know, these last few episodes are honoring African American scientists that are making history today. One of the most significant cultural changes that struck our world most recently was the COVID-19 pandemic. This virus and the way our government has handled it has changed everything about our world. Thankfully, there are great scientists and immunologists, along with many other great servants and leaders, on the front lines helping stop the spread of this virus. Therefore, we want to honor an African American scientist who is praised for being a key scientist behind this COVID-19 vaccine, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett. Born in rural North Carolina, Corbett was educated in local schools where her teachers spotted her gifts. In the 10th grade, Corbett was picked for a summer program aimed at minority students, interning in chemistry labs at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. She earned her undergraduate degree in biological sciences and sociology at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County in 2008. She returned to UNC Chapel Hill for her graduate work, researching antibody responses to dengue virus for her PhD in microbiology and immunology. After graduating, Corbett became a research fellow at NIH, the National Institutes of Health, whose research on other coronaviruses laid the foundation for the design of the COVID-19 vaccine. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, Corbett's team partnered with a Massachusetts-based biotech company, Moderna, to transfer their discoveries about the MERS vaccine to SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. While the mRNA system was yet untested in humans, it offered huge advantages for rapid development and mass manufacturing. The gene fragments in the vaccine could also be easily reshaped to target new viral variants and other viruses. On January 11, 2020, Corbett's lab received the first full genomic sequence of SARS-CoV-2 from Chinese scientists. 2 days later, Corbett and colleagues had mRNA-1273. Just 66 days after the genetic code of the SARS-CoV-2 virus was determined, the NIH Moderna team gave the first vaccine dose in a pilot clinical trial. Subsequent large clinical trials showed that the NIH Moderna vaccine had an astounding 94% effectiveness rate in protecting against COVID-19. On December 18th, the FDA issued an emergency use authorization for the Moderna 2-dose vaccine. Since then, millions of healthcare workers, high-risk individuals, and increasingly ordinary Americans have received the vaccine that got its start in Corbett's lab. As the Moderna vaccine distribution progresses, Corbett's lab is pursuing work on a universal coronavirus vaccine that would use mRNA to alert the immune system to features fundamental to all members of the coronavirus family. The Vaccine Research Center is also at work developing novel therapeutic uses for the antibodies triggered by SARS-CoV-2 infection. Corbett herself has taken on a prominent role as a vaccine educator, reaching out especially to communities of color, which have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19 and have long suffered from healthcare disparities. As one of the most highly visible African American scientists in the fight against COVID-19, Corbett feels she has a special role. She works to bridge the gap between vaccine science and public understanding by explaining the science to address people's concerns. She said, "For a long time, we left the general public on the outside of vaccine development until it was time to give them their shot. And that's just unacceptable. I can't even blame anyone for being skeptical about this because they don't have any idea what went into it." That's what Corbett said in an interview with Nature. To get the word out, she often virtually meets with church and school groups, engages with news media outlets, and creates online videos. Corbett also ventures her time in schools as a role model for children from under-resourced communities, encouraging them to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. Corbett's research has been honored with Kaiser Permanente's African Americans in Healthcare Award, and she was awarded that in 2021. The American Association for the Advancement of Science's The Golden Goose Award in 2020. The Foundation for National Institutes of Health's Salzman Memorial Award in Virology in 2020. The American Society for Microbiology's Early Applied and Biotechnological Research Award in 2020, and many more. In 2021, Time Magazine's famed Person of the Year magazine issue announced Kizzmekia Corbett as a Hero of the Year for her leadership in developing the COVID-19 vaccine. Her early efforts were pivotal to the unprecedented speed with which their COVID-19 vaccine was developed in collaboration with biotech company Moderna. Corbett is not only a renowned immunologist, she is a powerful voice bringing awareness to racial health disparities and encouraging trust in science. During an exceptionally difficult period in our history, Corbett is a beacon of hope and an inspiration for scientists to come. Thank you, Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, for literally saving lives. We wanted to honor scientists like you who are making life-saving history today. We appreciate you and all of you have done. And we also thank everyone that has been enjoying and watching these videos as we honor Black scientists for Black History Month. Continue to like, subscribe, comment, and share for more great videos from The Last Science Show. We'll see you next time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good science. The first Black scientist we are going to honor is George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver was an African-American scientist and educator. Carver is famous for many inventions, including a number of uses for the peanut. George Washington Carver was born enslaved and went on to become one of the most prominent scientists and inventors of his time, as well as a teacher of the Tuskegee Institute. Carver devised over 100 products using one major crop, the peanut, including dyes, plastics, and gasoline. Carver was most likely born in 1864, enslaved in Diamond, Missouri, during the Civil War years. Like many children of the enslaved, the exact year and date of his birth are unknown. Carver was one of many children born to Mary and Giles, an enslaved couple owned by Moses Carver. A week after his birth, Carver was kidnapped along with his sister and mother from the Carver farm by raiders from the neighboring state of Arkansas. The three were later sold in Kentucky. Among them, only the infant Carver was located by an agent of Moses Carver and returned to Missouri. The conclusion of the Civil War in 1865 brought the end of slavery in Missouri. Moses and his wife Susan decided to keep Carver and his brother James at their house after that time.